You're listening to the 5-Minute Friday podcast episode of The Aligned Self. This is your host, Daniel J-N-O-V. Okay, 5-Minute Friday, a short and concise podcast episode of The Aligned Self, designed to leave you with a question, an idea, a strategy, a tip, a hack, in order to give you greater access to your conscious awareness, evolving your conscious awareness, or give you greater mastery over your mind. Hello, friend, and welcome into this 5-Minute Friday. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to say today. This past week, I had a friend pass away unexpectedly. And I say unexpectedly because she was younger than me. And we often say unexpectedly when, we feel as if they have not lived a full life. And from that perspective, it's difficult to understand or even make sense of why someone would die so young if there's a purpose to our life. But I think that comes from the mistaken idea that we're supposed to live, we're supposed to be here for a certain number of years to live a full life. I don't think the number of years that we're here determines whether or not our life was important or impactful. I think what really matters how we are being when we're on the planet. While we're here, who have we touched? How did we live? Not how long did we live? What I'm currently present to, what I'm currently aware of, is that each of us has the power to decide what our life will stand for, whether or not we will leave a legacy behind. And when I say legacy, I don't mean money or property or wealth that we pass on to other generations. It's our philosophy. It's how we're being in the world. It's how we touch people as we move through the world day to day. It has a lot to do with the energy that we bring into every conversation. It's the conversations that we have. And in reflection, I think that's one of the most important reasons that I use to do this podcast, to leave a legacy, to have conversations that hopefully will make a difference for you. A mutual friend is delivering the eulogy at the memorial service, and he's having trouble. He's having difficulty trying to make sense of the passing. And I don't necessarily think we can make sense of death or the timing of death. Death is a part of life, but in our mind, we have an idea or an expectation of how long a life should be. How long will someone be around? We don't really know. Our life, the lives of the people we love, can end at an instant, in a moment, for seemingly no good reason. So I think it doesn't really do much good to try and make sense of the why behind someone dying or someone passing on or transitioning. It's how did they impact us? Remembering what energy did they imbue to us? And what conversations did you have? I know when I reflect on my father, when I think about everything that he gave me and what I value and cherish in our relationship, that's all I have. That's what I remember. He lives on in me. And just like my friend, I think about what she brought to my life, the conversations we had, how a part of her is in me. We cannot interact with somebody else without leaving a piece of us with them. And so as I present to you in the podcast, a part of me is my father coming through and my friend coming through. They vicariously touch you through me. And if you watch the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, it speaks eloquently to that whole dynamic, that we touch so many other lives just in us being alive. And so I'm just going to leave you with this idea. Are you living your life in a way, making the choices for your life, for you to be an expression that somebody could take with them if you are no longer here? That through knowing you, through interacting with you, they would be empowered to live on, to live and express their life because they had known you. And to be sure, you do not have to do a podcast. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a teacher. You just walk in the world with a sense of love and compassion. It can be a kind word, a kind look, kind moment, just a moment being with somebody else, an exchange of humanity. I'm going to end this with a quote from George Bernard Shaw. "This is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. The being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in the life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch which I have got a hold of for the moment. I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations." This is your friend and host, Daniel Danovi, urging you to follow your bliss, live your life from inner signals, be inner directed as you engage in the epic adventure.